Did anyone else think that, like, once you've completed a Couch to 5K, you could just run 5K, like, for the rest of your life? So, what made me begin a Couch to 5K journey again, like 5 years after I've ever ran, was another YouTuber. Like, she's based in California, San Diego, and she's called Sierra Schultz. And I watched her running journey, and like she just looked so happy, and I saw how proud she was, and she was doing all of these runs and fitting it around her life. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, I felt like it was really wholesome. It wasn't about losing weight, it wasn't about like becoming an elite athlete. Like, I do follow a lot of runners now who are really elite, and they do like marathons, like a couple of marathons a year, some of them. But yeah, Sierra just felt like it's like cozy running content, and it made me, yeah, like really engaged. So I was totally influenced basically, and that's why I started running. Okay, so I want to use an analogy. Couch to 5K is like getting a recipe and all of the ingredients. And the 5K is the end result, the meal you've made. But it's a complicated and hard to cook meal. So by the end of it, yes, you've managed to make that meal, but you've had to like really pay attention to the recipe, and like it's taken a lot of time to prep all of the ingredients. The next time you're making dinner, you're probably not gonna be able to make that meal without going through a lot of the like reading it again type of situation. You're probably gonna make beans on toast because you spent ages prepping that meal the night before. So yeah, a 5K, so much effort still at the end of Couch to 5K. Like, I did park run this morning, and it was the first run of my 10K plan, and it wasn't a 5K, it was two 15-minute runs. And that's how it goes. Like, you can't, just because you've done a Couch to 5K doesn't mean that you can run 5K like every time you leave the house now, which is kind of what I thought you'd be able to do. Like, am I thick? Am I the only one that thought that? Yeah, I thought once you'd completed the plan, completed the training, you were good to do that. And it's really helpful to know that's not the case for things like 10K training, because I've got two 10Ks booked that are a week apart. So I need to get so prepared for those and be 10K proficient a lot sooner than those races, so that I can run two 10Ks it within the space of a week. Why did I choose Zombies Run Couch to 5K? I bought it back in 2013 for 69 pence. So it's been worth that 69 pence, obviously, because I've started it a couple of times and never got past like week 3, I don't think. Zombies Run, it's a bit of a story. You are getting fitter so that you can go and help and get supplies for your base, and you're in this township of Able, and like you obviously need to get faster and fitter to go out because there's zombies that are going to be chasing you. I just find it really like fun. I love The Walking Dead. Like, I read all the comics, I watched the series until I got crap. I love zombie films, and yeah, I just find it engaging. And now I've finished the Couch to 5K, I get into the story mode proper. And obviously I've only just done one in my park run this morning. But yeah, I was just like really excited this morning because the story started like progressing, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be really fun. And it's a bit of a like treat. So in the pandemic, I remember I would only allow myself to listen to like certain books when I was out walking, and you'd want to go for a walk because you wanted to hear the next bit, and similarly, like you only get to hear the next bit of the story and what's going on, and you feel like quite engaged in how this town's gonna work out. like how are you going to save this town? And you only get to hear it if you're on a run. So it's like it's real motivation. So I finished a Couch to 5K back in 2020, and if you watch my short where I actually completed another Couch to 5K this week, the NHS one, you're only really running 30 minutes by the end of it, which if you're new to running, a 30-minute 5K is pretty decent timings wise. I right now, age 42, I think I've hit a 38 with a bit of walk running, and without stopping for some reason it took longer, and it was about 45 or 40 maybe. I'm not that great with the numbers and the tracking and the pacing. Lots of people are really interested in the numbers, but for me, my goal this week at the end of the Couch to 5K was to run for 5K without stopping, and I hit it. If I never get to a 30-minute 5K, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm 42 years old. I'm old. I am BMI wise overweight. I'm a slow runner. My goal isn't like to be speedy. It's just to be able to run and enjoy it. Like that's one of the main things that I want to get out of running, like enjoying exercise. And running, technically free, although I just spent like £34 on a sports bra this week. I bought some sweat wicking underwear for £30 the other week. Trainers, bought 2 pairs since starting, and I only started in October. I've entered a race in February, which was £20 per person, but it's me and my husband doing it, so that's 40. I've signed up for the Great North Run, which was only £1 to sign up, but I've got to raise £375. And in between then, I've just signed up for a run in Singapore. And that was like over £50 per person. It was in Singapore dollars, so it's like 90 Singapore dollars. And then I've got a local 10K at the end of March. And I feel like that was like around 35 or 30 each. So yeah, it just like stacks up. And obviously you don't need to do all of those things. But for me, the motivation of having something to work towards is with the money. But it's not as free as I thought it was going to be. I want to talk about like body image. There's a lot, like when you search up anything to do with running, because like you get interested, so you start like reading articles and stuff. There's a lot that assumes that you're running to lose weight. And then there's a lot that suggest you lose weight to get a better time. A lot of articles are like, you need to be around this weight to get these goals. And even if I like use AI, I know it's really controversial to use AI, but sometimes I need like some advice, and it does like look at everything on the internet and like consolidate it. But it's always like, yeah, lose 10 kilos and then you'll be able to run this fast. And I'm like, I didn't even ask that. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, have I hit, like I'll put in what I've eaten. I'm like, have I hit like good nutrition for running? Because I know how to count like protein, because that's really like in the zeitgeist now. Like I know 1 gram per pound of body weight is like ideal for protein pretty much. But I have no idea for carbs, and I have no idea for carbs when I'm fueling a run. So sometimes I use AI. So, but yeah, AI is like, you should lose 10 kilos and then you can run faster. And I'm like, okay, didn't ask that. So yeah, I do think like, I don't know if it's the same in all like cycling, swimming, blah, blah, blah. But I do think you have to protect yourself a little bit, like your mental health, even just running, because you will get like diet culture pushed on you for that. And it's like, you can want to be fit and want to have a fit body going into like old age without particularly wanting to lose weight. Like I've read a lot of books about BMI, and I know that like you are literally more fertile as a woman when you are above the healthy weight. Women's bodies do actually thrive on fat, and hormones thrive on fat. So the BMI is kind of been debunked for women's health, because if you're more fertile, that's the healthiest a woman can be. Like fertility is a sign like of hormone health and women's health. Yeah, you have to protect yourself if you do want to start running, because you're going to get a lot of that like thrust upon you, even if you're not asking. And like I am interested in like my body composition. Like it's really important again for old age to know that I've got like enough muscle. I have obviously dieted in the past, and if I try and survive on 17 or 16, I don't think I could run. Like I'd rather be running and building up my cardiovascular health and feel like I'm flourishing and thriving and probably building muscle. A massive plus to running is proving to yourself that you can do something that's really hard. When I was running on Thursday, it was, by the time I got to 4K, it was hard to keep going. It's the longest I've ever run in my life. I wanted to give up. My legs wanted to give up. And you just have to push through. Like it's mental endurance. You're doing something that is hard. Like your body's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, you're proving to yourself that you can actually follow through with a plan. So obviously me, like everyone else, I've fallen off loads of fitness plans. Like the amount of times I've tried and started like 75 hard, and I get like 7 days in and I'm like, I can't drink another drop of water. It literally, I get like water phobic by the 7th day, because like I'm hydrated. I followed through. So like there's a real feeling of pride. So it's really lovely actually. This year I would quite like to join some sort of running club. The run I'm going out on in February is like, it is a running society, but it only like the last one was in October and this one's in February, so it's like very random one-off runs. So I would like to have some sort of like running community. But I did park run today and that felt really like nice and community driven. So thank you for watching. I do think like if you are thinking about starting a running journey, the positives outweigh the negatives, and Couch to 5K is definitely something I would recommend if you're interested in it. I'd love it if you subscribe and follow my running journey. Hopefully it's really long, and I've signed up for the Great North Run, so hopefully I can like beast that. And yeah, I'd love for you to join along. And if anyone else has like got running content, especially like local to the northeast, I would really like to follow you as well, because I love seeing like local runs. There's so many that like you get like the Pudding Run on Boxing Day. It's only through like seeing things on YouTube or Instagram that you find out about things, and I find them really interesting. And I definitely this year want to do a Fueled by Donuts run. They are organised like through Deep North. You get Deep North donuts at the end of them, and I've never even had a Deep North donut, so the first time I have one, I'm going to do it after one of their runs.